Have you been writing a book for years, but you just haven't been able to finish? Maybe you've gotten through your rough draft and it just feels like there's something missing, but you don't know exactly what it is. Ever wondered why? In today's video, you'll discover the secret to why you probably haven't finished your book and what exactly to do to get back on track. Hey, y'all, welcome to today's Live with Lisa. If you don't know me, my name is Lisa, and I create videos that help you learn how to write and live God's way. If you're looking to honor God with both your life and your writing, this is the place for you. I also want you to know that we go live every week here in partnership with Our Given Purpose Ministries, which is an amazing ministry founded by my dear friend, Tori Slaughter, to help you grow in your walk with God and to connect to people in godly community. So make sure you get connected there and that you are getting involved and learning more about that ministry. So, as I said today, we are talking about what it looks like to really get unstuck from your writing, because this is such a common problem for so many writers. And I believe the secret is accountability. The secret is accountability for why so many writers have trouble making progress with their books, being able to finish their books, being able to get their books ready for publication. It really is a core issue in so many ways. And there are so many things that it impacts when we don't have accountability in place. So today we are going to be talking about why accountability is so important for writers and why you need an accountability team, no matter where you are in the writing process and no matter what kind of book you might be writing. So let's dive right in. The first reason, first of all, your writing accountability team is the secret weapon that is really going to help every writer to be successful. Every writer that you know of today, from your favorite author who is famous and has written books read around the world to an indie author that you've probably never heard of. Either way, a lot of those different authors have writing accountability teams. You just may not realize that that's what they are. And so today we're going to talk about why those teams are so important. So first of all, you need a writing accountability team because reason number one, you don't know where to start. You don't know where to start. If you are writing a book, and especially if you're writing your first book, you really need that writing accountability team in place. You need people around you who can help you to figure out what you want to do and why you want to do it in the writing process. And so whether you're deciding between traditional or self-publishing, trying to figure out which publishing path you're going to take, or you're setting career goals and trying to identify where you want to go in your writing career, you need people around you to help you walk through that process, to guide you and direct you. It could be a mentor or a coach or a number of different people who can help you at that phase of the process. But you need people around you who can direct you, guide you, and give you wisdom to help you make those big decisions. You don't want to make them in isolation like a lot of writers do. And so that's an important place to start. You don't want to spin your wheels and not know where you're going. And that's what a lot of writers do because they don't think to bring in help at the early phase of the writing journey. But it's really, really important. And so that's what we want, where we want to start off, bringing in people right away. The second reason you want an accountability team is if you're stuck with your story. If you're stuck with your story, this is key and critical. If you are, we all go through, difficult moments in the writing process. We may have a few weeks or months here or there where we might be struggling to get together ideas, and maybe we're having trouble figuring out what that story is going to look like, and trying to make our writing really match the vision that we have. It can happen to a lot of different people in a lot of different ways. That's normal to get stuck every so often. But if you find that you are stuck in the writing process for months or even years or even decades at a time, that's a big sign that something is wrong and that you need help. and especially that you need help from outside experts, people who are knowledgeable about writing and about the publishing industry and can help advise you and help you really what I call troubleshoot your book to where you figure out what's going wrong and how to fix it. And they can walk with you through solutions for those problems. Many times you can't come up with those solutions by yourself. No matter how good of a writer you are, no matter how experienced you are, we all have blind spots and we need people to come alongside us and show us where they are and help us walk through them. And so that's where accountability partners like coaches and mentors and editors can really be helpful. So we want to make sure to include them at that point in our writing journey too. Whenever we feel stuck and we're struggling, that is a sign that something is wrong and we need to bring in qualified people who can help us. The next reason that we need an accountability team as a writer is if you finished the rough draft of your manuscript. If you finished the rough draft of your manuscript, you've gone through the rough draft, you've gotten all your ideas out, you've written those magical words, the end, at the end of your manuscript, and you have finished that initial rough draft. That's an exciting time for so many writers because you have this sense of accomplishment. And so many writers never even get that far. They never get to actually finish the rough draft. And so that is something to be excited about and to celebrate for sure. I very much encourage writers to celebrate at every stage of the writing journey, and certainly when you have finished that rough draft. But once you have done that, many writers don't know how to move forward. They don't know what to do next. Do I immediately go and publish it right after I've written that rough draft? Do I go and find an editor, a professional editor, to help me polish it up and get it ready for publication? Do I need to talk to someone else? Do I need to find other people? And so I want you I want to make sure that I want to encourage you to watch the videos that will be coming out later this month, because we're going to go into detail and really dive into the different aspects of your accountability team. Who needs to be on your team and what are the different roles that people need to have on your accountability team. So make sure that you are staying tuned for Live with Lisa this month throughout the month of July, because we'll be going into a lot of those details and a lot of that background to help you with your accountability team and to get those people in place. But for now, it's important for you to understand that there is a place for professional editors. Now, I don't recommend that people actually get professional editors and work with them right away, immediately after they have finished their rough draft. I actually advise against that. I think that that's a big mistake that a lot of writers make. And in another video coming up later this month, you will find out when you need to know the right time to hire a professional editor, what you need to look for, what are the steps that you need to take first. And so you'll get more information about that at a later date as well. But for now, understand that you want to, at the very least, go through a self-edit. You want to go through your manuscript on your own first, and make sure that it has everything, that you have cleaned it up and polished it as best you can on your own. That's really going to help you and make your editor's job easier, because it allows them to focus on some of the more complex issues in the book and be able to answer questions that you have if you have gone through the manuscript on your own first, and fix typos and grammar and plot issues and all those kinds of things on your own first. That's going to really make things easier for your editor. But you want to make sure that you have gone through the manuscript first, and but you are going to want to bring in an editor at some point if you are self-publishing. And so that's really important for you to recognize that you will need that help. You will need that accountability to help make sure you finish your book, that you revise it and edit it, and that you eventually publish it. An editor is going to be helpful in that process. So that is an important time to recognize that you will need a professional editor, and you will need someone to help you if you have finished the rough draft of your manuscript. The next reason that you need an accountability team is if you are struggling with motivation. If you've been struggling with motivation, you need accountability partners. You need that team of people to help you. Why? Usually during this kind of kicks in during the editing and revising stage of writing your book. It can happen during the drafting portion too. It depends on a lot of times your personality. Some people have an easier time with drafting. Other people have an easier time with editing and revising. It really depends. But most people at some point in the writing process are going to have this moment where they what we a lot of times we call shiny new idea syndrome kicks in. Shiny new idea syndrome. It is this moment where you are working on your book and you realize you don't like it. You kind of hate it, actually. You're seeing all the problems, you're seeing all the things that need to be fixed. You may not know how to fix it. You're frustrated and you don't know what to do. You don't know how to fix it. You don't know where to start with revising it and making changes. And you just want to throw it out a window, right? And you have this moment where this shiny new idea comes into your head for a brand new book, a brand new story. And it's so much better than the story you were going to write. It's so much more effective and wonderful. And it's going to change people's lives. And it's going to be so much better than the book you're working on currently. You should go work on that book. That's what you start to tell yourself. That's what you start to think in your mind. You start to have these moments where you think, maybe I should put this book away and give it some space and work on this other book instead. And it's like squirrel, right? You're going after the squirrel and you want to forget the book that you're working on. But that accountability team, those accountability partners, those writing partners in your writing group and those editors and those coaches and people that will work with you, they are going to be the ones that stop you in that moment and say, well, but what? Don't stop right now. Don't stop the book that you're working on. Don't go after the shiny new idea. If you want to take a few notes and jot it down, that's fine, but don't get distracted. Stay focused. And they will help to motivate you and to encourage you to help you keep going. If you don't have that team of people around you, if you don't have that support system in place, many writers will just stop where they are and they will, or even worse, they'll go chase after that shiny new idea. And then guess what happens? Once they start working on the new project, they'll get halfway through that one and then it all happens again. It's a cycle. They'll get discouraged, they'll get worn down, they'll lose motivation, they'll lose steam. And before they know it, there's another shiny idea that comes in their minds and they want to go run off and work on that one. And that's how you have a number of writers all throughout the world who have 5, 10, maybe even 20 or 30 different stories and book ideas that they've worked on. And maybe they have a few chapters here or there and a few pages here or there on all of them. And they never finish anything because there's never anyone walking beside them saying, hey, focus, don't get distracted by the new idea. Stay with this one you have right now and make sure you finish it. And I'm going to be checking in with you to make sure you finish it. And so I like to say this all the time. If you are the only person who knows about the book that you're writing, it's a dangerous place to be in as a writer because you're not going to be motivated all the time. You're not going to feel like writing all the time. You're not going to even like your book all the time. You'll get to a point where you get tired of writing it. And you need someone during those moments to give you that kick and that push to keep going and say, you can do this. You've got this. Let's figure this out together. And that's why that accountability team is so helpful. Those accountability partners, those writing partners, those editors, those mentors are so, so helpful in your writing journey because they will keep you focused and on track where you need to be. And so, the last reason why you need that accountability team in place is you need feedback to help you improve as a writer in general. You need feedback to help you improve as a writer in general. The great thing about an accountability team and having those partners to help you is that they not only help you with the individual book that you might be working on today, right now, but they can also help you improve your craft of writing over time and over the course of your writing career. They will help you to grow and become a better writer because the insight and wisdom and solutions they give you help you to think differently about writing and they help you to better understand how to write and how to communicate. And so the advice that you get is not just helpful in the short term with what you're working on right now, but it will also be helpful in the long term over the course of your writing career. I like to say that if God has given you the ability to write as a kingdom writer, if he has given you the ability and the idea to write a book, many times he does not just give you one. We serve a God of abundance as believers in Jesus. We serve a God who is of more than enough, gives more than enough, and is lavish in his giving. And so ask yourself this question: why would God, if he could give you, you know, one idea for a book, why would he stop there? Why would he only give you one idea for a book? The same God who created all the stars in the sky, all the planets in creation, all the different animals and trees, and just the beauty of nature, and created all this abundance around us, and then created you who is made in his image and fashioned after his likeness and has the abundance of creativity the way that he does. Why would he only give you one idea for a book in your entire lifetime? I don't think that he did. I think he gave most people, most writers, he has given us an abundance of ideas and an abundance of creativity to create and do and fashion the works that he has called us to do. So if he has called you to create multiple books, to write multiple books, then it stands to reason that we should be focused on becoming the best writer possible, in developing our craft in writing, developing our books that he is calling us to write, and making sure that we become better over the course of our writing career, to make sure that we are being good stewards of the gift that he has given us. So we need to make sure that we do that. And so if he has given us all of these ideas and all of these books, if we have a library inside of us that is waiting for him to bring it out, then we need to be committed to the process of getting better over time. And having an accountability team can help us do that. It can help us get better over the course of our writing career and get better at our craft. And so I want to encourage you today, wherever you are in the writing process, whatever book you're working on, whether it's a mystery or a memoir, whether it's a novel, a contemporary novel, or a young adult fantasy novel, whether it's a devotional or whatever kind of book that it is, I want to encourage you today to bring people around you who can help you finish that project, who can help you do what God is calling you to do. There are so many examples in scripture of people that God has called to do a work for him. And he did not call them to work alone, but he brought people alongside of them to accomplish the work with them. You are not called to write your book alone. You are not called to write in isolation. You are called to partner with people that he has designed and divinely ordained to walk alongside you. So if you're feeling stuck with your book, if you're having a hard time finishing it, if you feel like it is an impossible task, ask yourself if you have the right people around you to help accomplish the work that God has called you to do. If not, it is time to start looking for those people. And so next week, we will talk about what it looks like to begin that process of looking for your accountability team. We'll begin that process of who needs to be on your team and how you know when you need to work with different people at different stages in the writing process. I'm excited to go into this topic this month, so make sure that you stay tuned. Make sure you don't miss a single live with Lisa. I would love to have you, and I would love for you to join me. So if this video was helpful for you today, make sure that you, don't be a stranger. Make sure you subscribe and that you follow along on this journey to learn more about how to write and live God's way. Make sure you leave a comment below and let me know what you are working on and what kind of questions you have about how to write and live God's way. I would love to help you in any way that I can. So thank you so much for joining me today, whether you're watching live or on the replay. I'm grateful, and I pray that this live blessed you. And that is it for now. I will see you next week on the next Live with Lisa. Until next time, take care and God bless.